year is 334 BC. A young king, barely 20 years old, stands at the edge of the known world. Before him lies Asia, the mighty Persian Empire, and a destiny that will change history forever. His name, Alexander of Macedon. The world would remember him as Alexander the Great. But long before his first battle, before the clashing of swords and the thunder of hooves, another man, living 2 centuries earlier, had already seen his coming. His name was Daniel, and in a vision of beasts rising from the sea, he saw a leopard, swift, powerful, unstoppable, with 4 wings and 4 heads. This is the story of how that prophecy came true. In the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 6, the prophet records, "After this I looked, and there was another beast like a leopard, which had on its back 4 wings of a bird. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it, a leopard, the symbol of speed, agility, and ferocity. But this one was no ordinary leopard. It had 4 wings, suggesting blinding speed, and 4 heads hinting at division, strategy, and power shared among many." Daniel didn't know it then, but the Spirit of God was showing him the rise of a kingdom that would move faster than any before. A kingdom led by a man whose ambition burned brighter than the sun. By the time Daniel received his vision around 550 BC, Greece was not an empire. It was a cluster of rival city-states, Athens, Sparta, Thebes, and Macedon, each fighting for power, glory, and survival. To Daniel, they were an afterthought, small compared to mighty Babylon or Persia. But prophecy has a way of seeing beyond what men can see. While Babylon feasted and Persia conquered, a seed of destiny was growing quietly in the rugged mountains of Macedon, a seed that would one day sprout wings, 4 of them, and fly faster than any empire in history. In 356 BC, in the city of Pella, a prince was born to King Philip II and Queen Olympias. They named him Alexander. From childhood, he was different, curious, ambitious, restless. His tutor, the great philosopher Aristotle, who taught him science, philosophy, medicine, and the works of Homer. And from Homer's Iliad, Alexander learned of Achilles, the warrior who sought glory that would never fade. Alexander would seek the same. At 16, he led his first army. At 20, he became king after his father's assassination. And within a year, he began his conquest. In 334 BC, Alexander crossed the Hellespont, the narrow strait separating Europe and Asia. His army was small, 35,000 soldiers, but his ambition was limitless. He threw a spear into Asian soil and declared, "I accept this land from the gods as a gift." From that moment, the leopard leaped. In 334 BC, at the Battle of Granicus, Alexander crushed the Persian satraps. In 333 BC at Issus, he defeated the great Persian king Darius III. And in 331 BC at Gaugamela, he broke the back of the Persian Empire forever. In just 10 years, a decade, he conquered Persia, Egypt, Syria, Mesopotamia, and parts of India. No empire in history had expanded so far, so fast. The leopard's 4 wings, swiftness, fulfilled. But Daniel's vision also showed 4 heads, a strange feature that baffled interpreters for centuries. History would make it clear. In 323 BC, after years of triumph, Alexander returned to Babylon, the very city where Daniel had once served kings. There the conqueror fell ill, some say from fever, others from poison. Within days he was dead, only 32 years old. His empire, vast but fragile, had no heir. And just as prophecy had foretold, it was divided, not into 1 or 2, but 4 parts, the 4 heads of the leopard. His generals, known as the Diadochi, split the empire among themselves. Cassander took Macedonia and Greece, Lysimachus took Thrace in Asia Minor, Seleucus took Syria, and the eastern territories Ptolemy took Egypt. 4 heads, 4 kingdoms, 1 prophecy, perfectly fulfilled. Critics have long debated Daniel's visions. Some argue they were written after the events occurred, but ancient manuscripts, including the Dead Sea Scrolls, dated centuries before Christ, prove Daniel's words existed long before Alexander's rise. How could Daniel, a Jewish exile living under Babylonian rule, predict with such detail an empire that wouldn't exist for 200 years? Because this was no ordinary vision. It was divine revelation, a window into the timeline of God's plan. Every symbol, the leopard's speed, the 4 wings, the 4 heads, matches the history of Greece with startling accuracy. Even the historian Josephus records that when Alexander entered Jerusalem, the priest showed him the book of Daniel, and Alexander believed the prophecy spoke of him. Though Greece's political dominance faded, its influence never truly died, shaping art, science, and thought for centuries to come. When Rome rose to power, it adopted much of Greek civilization, and when the gospel of Christ began to spread, it did so in Koine Greek, the language born from Alexander's conquests. The leopard's wings carried not just armies, but ideas, culture, and a universal tongue that would one day carry the message of salvation. The story of Alexander is not just about conquest, it's about the fragile nature of human power. In a single lifetime, he rose higher than any man before him, and yet, in a single moment, he fell. Daniel saw it centuries earlier, an empire swift as a leopard, divided by 4 heads, powerful, but temporary. And from Greece would come another beast, one even more terrible, more powerful, more ruthless, the 4th kingdom that Daniel trembled to describe. Prophecy is not just ancient history, it is God's fingerprint on time. Babylon fell, Persia rose, Greece conquered, and Rome awaited, each kingdom fulfilling the pattern written in heaven. And if these prophecies came true with such precision, what about the ones that have yet to unfold? Tell us in the comments. What lesson do you see in the rise and fall of Greece? Do you believe history is written by men or by the divine hand that guides them? Join us next time as we step into Daniel's 4th beast, a creature so fierce, so vast, it shattered the world that came before. Because in Echoes of Prophecy, we don't just retell history, we reveal how prophecy still speaks today.